Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Seduce Me 2. We're here back with Sam crushing his dad. Black and red smoke rose from the blade, dancing around the demon lord's body and dissipating up into the air above.
Goodbye, old man.
Sam gripped his sword with both hands and yanked the sword out from his father's body, making the demon lord arch back before falling forward. Smoke continued to rise and engulf the demon lord's body as if it was beginning to cremate itself after death. As the demon lord let out his last breath, silence at the last engulfed the room, only interrupted by the sound of Sam's labored breathing. It was over. It was finally over. I thought he was going to kick him out or something. I could feel tears. I thought she said fears. I was like, what? Tears well up in my eyes as the situation sank into my body, causing me to place my hands on the floor and stare into the dark marble. We did it. We really did it. I looked at Sam, seeing him land softly on the ground while his wings vanished into clouds of smoke. As he turned to me, I could see exhaustion hit his body like a tidal wave. One step towards me brought him crashing down to his knees. Sam! Before I could even stand to run to him, Sam lifted his hand, laughing tiredly.
I'm fine. Calm down.
Oh, I relaxed for the moment, relieved to know that he was all right. I felt myself let out a sigh as I heard Diana chuckle beside me.
He wore you out that fast? You're not as tough as you look, brute.
Diana, no time to be cocky here. You're the ones with holes in your back. Sam chuckled and raised a middle finger at Diana, curling his shoulders over himself as he tried to breathe and relax from the whole ordeal. I felt myself laugh as they took in the situation as well. The war was over. It was.
I won't be the only one who dies here.
Excuse me, you're still alive? What? His whispered voice barely reached my ears. It couldn't be. I looked over, horrified as I saw the demon lord, barely pushing up on his hands, glared at me through the smoke, surrounding him with crazed, almost psychotic eyes, as he suddenly pointed his hands at me. Everyone else had only just turned around to see me.
Die!
What? Within a mere breath of a second, a line of red lightning was fired straight at me from his outstretched hand. I didn't have time to react. I didn't have time to think. Time seemed to move in slow motion as the red bolt inched closer to my body, about to make impact with my sternum. Sam, despite his speed, wasn't fast enough to stop its journey towards my chest. I could see my life flash before my eyes. It was over.
No!
What? I felt my body being pushed violently to the side, away from the incoming attack. I turned my head as I pushed and stared wide-eyed at who was pushing me away. What is this? With a crash, the window behind us shattered with Diana flying out of it. Diana, who had been beside me the entire fight, stared at the incoming attack as she took my place in its trajectory. There was no time to shout back. There wasn't any time to stop it from happening. I could only watch as the ray slammed against Diana's chest and forced her body backwards into the stained glass behind us. My gaze followed Diana's body, seeing her look to me with a sad, teary-eyed smile. There were no words that could be said as she flew into the air. There was no way to grab her and pull her back. All I could do was watch as Diana's body arched back and plummet downwards towards the decaying sea below. She no longer had her wings. She couldn't fly to save herself.
Any creature unfortunate enough to fall into that cursed stretch of water will be doomed to sink into an endless black void. They can never die due to the dark magic in the water, but they can never come back up. There is no saving them.
Seto will save her, I'm pretty sure. I reached out despite the futility of it towards Diana and watched her sink through the air as gravity took hold. I barely had time to blink as the figure ran past my body and pushed off the ledge of the window, zipping straight toward Diana's body.
Isaiah!
Seto, face pale as snow, had projected his body towards her and had managed to wrap his arms around her form, causing her to cling to him. Both demons, however, plummeted down towards the dark waters, quickly vanishing from sight. I couldn't even see the splash their bodies made as they hit the water surface. Oh, dang, man. I gripped the edge of the tower, not believing what I was seeing. This couldn't have been real. Diana and Seto were gone. Even as Seto called her name, even as magic was on their side. How could they be gone? The garbled noise of the demon lord's throat became being impaled barely caused me to turn and see Sam ram his sword through his father's neck. At last, the Demon Lord fell, lifeless for sure. However, my vision became obscured by tears. I watched behind a veil of tears as Sam rushed over to me and wrapped his arms around me, pulling me close and laying my head onto his shoulder.
Are you okay?
No. I could barely even utter a no or shake my head. I buried my face into Sam's shoulder, gripping to him as the sight of Diana falling burned itself into my memory. I felt something in my soul lift and disappear, but I couldn't have cared less. I heard the heavy sounds of footsteps rush towards us, but I didn't lift my head up.
Sam!
Wait, where's...
Diana and Sarah were gone.
Gone?
They fell into the sea.
Oh, so you know Shadow. I felt Sam nod, still hugging me tightly. He held my head close to him as he spoke for us.
Diana saved her from that bastard's last attack. The guard jumped after her.
A sad silence engulfed the room. What could have been said? Ow, bit my tongue. The Demon Lord was defeated, but the rebellion had lost its queen. For a moment, the world felt dark and cold, as if the war had been lost alongside Diana, despite the rebellion obtaining victory. I gripped onto Sam, feeling deep sadness for the entire situation. Diana saved my life, sheltered me, and fell into a seamless, endless sea because of me. Sam, feeling my anguish, tightened his embrace around me and let me bury my face in his chest. The war had ended at last, but now I didn't know where to go. At least that's what I thought. Sam gently loosened his embrace around me and looked to the remaining rebel demons with a hard gaze. I looked up, wiping my eyes in confusion. What was wrong now?
Will you all honor her words?
Her... words? Wait, she gave it to you?
What? There was more? What does Sam mean? Faye looked to her companions as they stared at Sam in shock.
Well, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
We can't exactly refuse the Lord of Dragons.
I looked up at Sam, feeling completely lost. Sam looked down at me and helped me stand before releasing my body and stepping away from me. With a sigh, he looked down at the floor. Sam?
Diana made me promise something. If she died, then...
Sam looked at his brothers in nervousness. I looked over as well to see them holding... Oh, not holding. I saw holding up here. To see them confused, but ushering him to continue before turning back to Sam and holding his hands. Then what?
If she died, then I'd step in for the rebellion and take the throne.
I stared wide-eyed at Sam. What? Sam was now the leader of the rebellion? What of the others? I looked to the other rebel leaders to see them bow their heads to Sam, answering my mental question and causing me to look back at my fiancé. What about us? Would Sam leave me? Would he make me stay? Did that make me a queen? Did that mean I had to stay no matter what? We had to stay? What about the human world? Sam, mostly likely feeling my nervousness and my hands grasped them and gently pulled me to him.
Look, I made a promise to her, but I'm yours first. If taking the throne means leaving you, then I'd rather burn it.
Hey!
Sam. His eyes burned into my gaze, showing me his utter devotion. He was serious about needing to take it, but I knew that he would never leave me or force me away from him. Sam gently rubbed my hands with his thumbs and stared down at them.
So, I'm leaving the choice up to you. The Demon Lord's dead, so we can go back and live normal lives and whatever in the human world.
Or we can stay and rule the demon world. Sam nodded, affirming my assumption. It was a lot to take in. I wasn't sure how to respond. The dream of me looking back to see my family and friends began to haunt me. If I stayed, I would never be able to see them again. More than that, would the demon world even accept the human queen? Would I have to become a demon or something? Sam nodded as Shadow stepped up.
Naturally, demons would never accept a human as their ruler. Besides, while it is impossible for a demon to be separated from their magic and become human, the same isn't the case the other way around.
We'd be able to turn you into a succubus, a demon of Lilith, as they were originally formed from a being who was once human before.
So I would be a succubus if I stayed, but I'd be ripping myself away from my family, my friends. Was it fair to them? wasn't fair to me. What about my family and friends? Sam lowered his head as James stepped forward.
If you decide to stay, then we would be tasked with asking angels to remove any memories of you from the human world.
So, basically, I'm completely wiped out. My heart dropped. My parents, my friends, anyone who knew me would forget. It would be for the best, but to think that I would no longer exist for them made my eyes water slightly. I wasn't sure what to say. I felt myself freeze in place, unsure whether to run back into the light of the human world or stay in the dark of the demon world. Yeah, I could feel the situation sink hard into my stomach, but I knew I had to make a choice. Thoughts of Diana pushing me away from the Demon Lord's final attack replayed in my head, reminding me that she gave her life for me when she was meant to take up the responsibility of having the world on her shoulders. Sam gripped my hands tightly, causing me to gaze up into his eyes.
I know this is a big decision, but just know that whatever you choose, I'll be with you no matter what.
I stared up at him, seeing an endless world of love buried within his emerald irises. He would put me first no matter what, but what would I choose? My family and friends were important to me, but this world became important too. I closed my eyes, remembering my grandfather's words. You should do what makes you happy. I opened my eyes and smiled at Sam, my heart finally reaching a decision. I want to return to the human world or to stay in the demon world. During the whole conversation, I was thinking of staying in the demon world. I mean, I'm sacrificing a lot, losing my friends and my family, and they won't remember who the frick I am. But I think that demon world really needs Sam. So this shows my personality, right guys? I'll drop anything for you guys. This was Sam's home. This was the place Diana and the entire rebellion had fought to protect and save. And it was also our fault this all happened. So, my time here made this world precious to me, and I wanted to take care of it as Diana would have. My heart gave a gentle thump, letting me know that I had made the right decision. Sam smiled brightly and nodded. His brothers and their wives nodded, accepting my answer, but the rebel leaders lowered their heads in respect to me and Sam. I bet they hate us so much. I quickly turned to them and smiled, knowing that they needed to be there and help us rebuild the world we were left with. We hope all of you will help us rebuild this world. Diana would have wanted that. A lump in my throat almost blocked me from finishing the sentence. It was deeply painful to refer to Diana as dead. I really don't think she's dead, but okay. She gave her life for me, but the world needed a leader, and it now had a strong group of people ready to lead it. The four rebel leaders looked to each other and nodded.
We will do our best. Thank you for trusting us.
What are we gonna do first? We could do all kinds of really amazing things, like rebuild the forests. No, wait, have a party. Wait, no.
Faye, quiet.
Oh, lighten up. The war is over. We have a reason to celebrate.
Yeah, party. I smiled, happy to know the world was in good hands. However, Faye took a deep breath and looked to me with a small smile before forming a small lavender-colored lily in her hand.
Before we turn you into a demon, though, since Diana is, well, she wanted to give you this.
I stared at the flower in surprise. What was it? I reached out and took it into my hands, practically feeling magic and energy run through it. It's lovely.
A flower of Lilith. But how can that be?
They were said to have died out generations ago.
I continued to stare at the flower, entranced by its spell. It was such a gorgeous-looking flower, I could barely tear my eyes away.
Put it behind your ear. I think she said it was magical or something.
Alright, sure. I tilted my head before nodding and lifting it to tuck it behind my ear. As it settled against my ear, I felt mist circle my head and form into a flower crown of lavender lilies that I could see in the reflection of the remains of the stained glass windows. The way everyone looked at me made me feel like I was in my bridal wear already.
Whoa.
Amazing!
I looked to Sam, seeing him grin from ear to ear at the sight of me. I blushed, feeling somehow timid with the flower crown on my head, but happy to know that I had rendered my husband speechless. However, as I lifted my hands to the flowers, feeling their soft petals, I could feel the world fade to a white color. Huh? From the direction of where Diana had fallen, a figure stepped towards me, bathed in light. I covered my eyes with my arm for a moment before seeing who it was. Bloop! Cliffhanger! I really didn't expect it to stop right there, but we're stopping right there, guys. I'm pretty sure it's Diana. I really don't think she's dead. But if she's dead, then damn. Sam's story is completely crazy. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.